Appreciate that.
When is he gonna get the kid?
Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon at this point. First and foremost, I just want to thank everybody at Invisible Reality Ministries, IRL. I want to thank Bros Brotherhood, and I want to thank all the people who came and supported, as far as like everybody who set up tables, and everybody that made today possible. Can we please give them a round of applause? I also want to thank you all for coming. Some of you drove here on your own, and some of you were brought here by somebody who cares about you. All right, so my name is Motivational Moreland, but for the sake of us building a good connection today, you all can call me King Moreland. That's actually my stage name. Now, before I say anything else, I want you all to do me a favor. Look around this room. Just take a moment, look at those around you. Some of you see friends, some of you see family, some of you see people you might not know. But you know what I see? I see something completely different. I see opportunity. I see future employers. I see people who can become mentors. I see people who have traveled down the path that you're seeking on traveling down. And because of that, I see bridges. This event is called Building Bridges to Opportunities. And by the time that I am finished speaking, I want every single one of you to understand that your future is not already determined. You have the ability to change everything, but you have to do it day by day. It's determined by the daily choices that you make. And I'm gonna leave with you all 3 lessons. These lessons helped me completely change my life. And I hope that if you are able to grab hold of them, that they will change your life too. I honestly think these are some of the most important lessons that I've learned. Number 1 is mindset and how important that is. Number 2 is environment and how your environment can completely change your life. And the last one is discipline, how doing what you're supposed to do every single day can make a huge difference in your life. So let's start with lesson 1, your mindset. Everything starts with the way that you think of yourself. Your mindset controls everything. It controls your actions, it controls your thoughts, and eventually it controls the way you feel. So let me ask you all one question. Raise your hand if you faced a difficult challenge before. All right, keep those hands up. If you face a difficult challenge and you've overcome it, keep your hands up. See, that's almost everybody, right? I want you guys to realize that that means that you can do hard things. If you face those challenges and you kept going, that means that it didn't stop you. That means that you can face adversity and you can keep going. See, I wasn't always the person that's standing in front of me. I used to be extremely pessimistic. Some of you might not know what that means, but that means that you have negative thoughts. Whenever I would face challenges, I would think that there's no way that I could overcome them. I would think that, I probably can't do this. Or why me? Why was I chosen to take this opportunity? I felt like I wasn't meant for it. And the crazy part is that thinking like that, I had already defeated myself before life ever had a chance to. I had already put myself in a position that I was going to lose because of the way I was thinking. I need you guys to realize something that I realized in that moment. I realized that having negative thoughts never gives you a positive outcome. Never. However, you gotta ask yourself another question. When you're going through something difficult and you have those negative thoughts, what comes out of that? Does anything positive ever come out of having negative thoughts? The answer is no. But when you think positively and you start believing that there could be another way, you begin searching for solutions to your problems rather than excuses. Instead of saying things like, I can't, you need to begin to say things like, well, how can I? Instead of saying things like, I'll never make this happen, you have to begin to ask yourself questions like, what can I do? Who do I need to become to make this happen? Once you do that, your mindset shifts and you begin to accomplish things that you never thought you were capable of. So, I want to tell you guys this before we end this lesson. Success starts with a belief. If you believe in something with all of your heart, and you believe that God has placed those gifts in your hands, and you believe that you have purpose, you can do it. Because I believe everybody in this room has a calling. Everybody in this room has a purpose. Everybody in this room has potential. And it's your responsibility to see that through. Develop those gifts and allow those gifts to build bridges. Because once you do that, you become somebody who is truly unstoppable. But here's lesson 2. Let's talk about your environment. Many of us have grown up in environments that didn't exactly strengthen our mindset. In fact, it weakened our mindset. And your environment can slowly destroy the way you think. So I'm going to be transparent with you all. Just being honest, I grew up poor. Life wasn't always easy for me. There wasn't always nice clothes that you see me wearing today. There wasn't always enough food. And just being transparent, I grew up with rats, roaches, bed bugs, and a lot of financial struggles. So in that very moment, I could have easily given up. But I knew that there had to be a better life for me. So I had to escape that environment. At first, I was conditioned to accept the environment that life had built me. I grew up believing that things were supposed to be that way. And, things like the thought process of, that's just the way things are. But then something changed. Not only did my mindset change, but God had placed people in my life that allowed me to start thinking differently. That came in the form of mentors, teachers, leaders, people who not only thought differently, but had a different lifestyle. And I began to read books. Books give you perspective that you might not have lived yourself. And I began to get around people who had set goals. Because once you set goals down, and you actually write them down, and you look at them, you start to see yourself accomplishing. I started getting around different people who would do things like that, where they would have issues, rather than ignoring them, they would actually face them head on. And I started watching them very closely, almost like studying these different people. And thankfully, God had blessed me with the opportunity to build a relationship with someone. I became a mentee. And being around them, I had an opportunity to start not only learning from watching them, but learning from speaking to them. And I began to build habits. These habits literally changed my life. So I gotta ask you something. Who are you surrounded to? Who are you surrounded by today? If these are people that you would like to be just like, continue to keep them in your life. But if these are people that you feel you need to get away from, just jot it down. I know a lot of y'all are minors and you guys don't necessarily have a decision to make as far as the people you're surrounded by, but you can at least be conscious of it. See, my job today is to just plant those seeds so that you're able to know who you want to be around, know who you like to be just like. Because if you're around a ton of people who are making excuses, eventually you'll make those excuses too. But if you surround yourself with people who are chasing greatness, then you'll start chasing greatness too. There's a quote that says, "You are the sum of the 5 people that you surround yourself with the most." And it's true. If you look at your own life, if you're around 5 negative people, you're going to be the 6th. I hate to say it, but that's just how it works. As humans, we are naturally exposed to influences from other people. So if you're around them enough, they'll begin to rub off on you. But you have the opportunity to be that one person that's extremely positive, and it can work the other way around. You can actually have your positivity rub off on them. It's contagious. So I need you to get in the right environments protect your peace, and protect your future. Because sometimes life begins with who you're listening to. We have to get to lesson 3. Here's the last lesson. And honestly, I think it's the most important. Discipline. Everybody wants success. I don't know a person who doesn't. Everybody wants money. Everybody wants a greater career. But very few people are willing to do what it takes consistently to actually acquire these things. See, your life will not change overnight. It's a daily decision to do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. And you have to do it when nobody's watching. Sometimes you'll have an audience, but then sometimes you won't. You'll wake up in the morning and you'll have that decision. No one's gonna get you up. You have an opportunity to continue to lay in the bed. But if you know where you're trying to go and you're determined to get there, you have to get up. It's not an option. You have to stop giving yourself an option. You have to get up no matter what. Nobody always feels like working out, and that's okay. Nobody always feels like reading and studying, and that's okay. But the disciplined people, they do it anyways. They do it whether they feel like it or not. And you have to become that type of person. You have to make a commitment to yourself. You have to develop the right mindset. You have to get in the right environment. And you have to make a decision to consistently do what you're supposed to do. And eventually, you'll start experiencing what is called growth. So, here's what happened to me. After I decided to get consistent, I started experiencing growth. I started to see the results. It didn't happen overnight. In fact, I'm 30 now. It took years for me to actually be able to get the opportunities that I'm getting now. But it's all the work that I put in behind the scenes. In those quiet moments where I could have given up and nobody would have noticed, I kept going. And eventually, day after day, week after week, year after year, I began to make progress. So I'll leave you with this. Talent might get you noticed. Having gifts might get you noticed. But discipline is what gets you where you're trying to go. So here's my challenge for you all. Every single one of you, before you leave for today, I don't want you to walk out these doors the exact same person that walked in. Meet somebody new. Many of you have already. You could talk to an employer. You can make a new connection here. I know I did. Take a step forward into your future, to the future that you want, because opportunities are everywhere. But opportunities only matter if you actually take advantage of them. Now, before I close, I want to leave you all with one more thing. And I really need you to hear me on this. It doesn't matter whether you are watching some big-time motivational speaker or you're watching somebody like me, somebody who's up and coming. When it comes down to it, it doesn't matter if you don't take action. Because even if you listen to the greatest speech in the world, and you write down every quote, if you don't go do the work, none of it matters. You have to put the work in. Not only do you have to believe in yourself, not only do you have to get in the right environment, not only do you have to have discipline, you have to believe in yourself, and you have to do the work. In the Bibles, specifically the King James Version, it says, faith without works is dead. So when you sit down and pray for something that you feel like you need to have in your life, you actually have to go out, put in the work, and then you'll achieve it. And then you have to understand it won't happen overnight. But you gotta put that work in consistently. And when you do, eventually you'll start to see progress. So when you leave here today, leave ready to take action. Leave ready to take advantage of the opportunities that you've been given. Leave ready to cross that bridge. So with that being said, I want you guys all to know that I'm proud of you for taking a step to even being here. Because this is the opportunity that you all needed. Now that you're here, and you have the information, and you have the connections, you have people like Mr. Osai that really care about you. You have people like the pastor that really care about you. Take advantage of those resources and do what you're supposed to do consistently. I want y'all to know I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. And thank you for allowing me to speak to you all and spend this time with you. May God bless you.